The Mavs are so fucked. They are absolutely toast. The more you think about it and break down what's happening with this team, roster, assets, draft situation, etc., and also just like play right now, just performances, period, the more you realize this team is just so screwed. They are absolutely done. How bad is it that the only option that the Mavs have right now, the only like slight way out to salvage the disaster that is this season, is to lose every single game for the rest of the season? I'm not joking. 7 games left. The only thing that the Mavs can do to fix it even a little bit, which is not going to fix the whole thing, is to tank. Lose it. Shut Luka down. Lose every single game. Let me explain why that will be. So we talked last week about the Mavericks-Warriors game, and that ended in the protest. Dallas said that it was supposed to be their ball, and the Warriors ended up getting an easy dunk, and then that ended up them losing the game and falling from 6th to like 10th, right? And we said that the last few games were pretty easy, right? We said, fortunately, they have 2 games against the Hornets, the Pacers, the Bulls, the Hawks, and the Spurs. All winnable games. Since then, the Mavs got their doors blown off to the Charlotte Hornets twice. Without LaMelo, without Terry Rozier, and without one other player as well. It was just Gordon Hayward doing Gordon Hayward things. By the way, did I mention that was the largest underdog win of the season? The Hornets were 16.5-point dogs and won outright. And the Mavs, in those 2 games that they both lost against the Hornets, they only led in those 2 games for 91 seconds combined. Out of 92 minutes or 96 minutes. Did I mention Charlotte has the 2nd worst record in the East? Those are not just bad losses. Those are change the entire philosophy and direction for the rest of the season kind of losses. Tim McMahon called them maybe the 2 worst performances, not just of the year, but in recent memory. The second game in Charlotte, Tim McMahon, Dallas Mavericks, I would call him on the beat for ESPN. He called Luka's performance the single worst 40-12-8 game in NBA history. Luka argued with the refs pretty much all night about everything, to the point where he got technicaled, teed up in his 16th of the year, which would have made him ineligible to play Monday night, which is tonight, against the Pacers. And the Pacers are better than the Hornets, except for Adam Silver put his knee pads on and went to work and found a way somehow to rescind Luka's technical, which the refs the next day came out and said, no, that technical was legit. We are not planning on rescinding it. Where all NBA podcasts today predicted, no, that will not be removed or changed. That call will not be, and it was changed. Any possibility that Adam Silver is a little scared about the potential of having not just Luka miss the playoffs, but LeBron miss the playoffs in the same year? Either way, it's a disaster. So how bad are things for the Dallas Mavericks right now? They are currently a full game behind the Oklahoma City Thunder for the 10 seed and last place in the play-in tournament. 5 of their next 7 games, Dallas, are against playoff teams. So remember we said schedule's kind of it's not easy anymore. Sixers, Kings, Hawks, Bulls, Heat. This is a team that even if they were trying, could easily go from Western Conference Finals last year to Cancun on 3. This all sort of seems impossible, considering the fact that they were so successful last year. Luka has been largely healthy pretty much all year. And the Mavericks made the biggest deal at the trade deadline, which was getting Kyrie Irving. And do not say that it was Kevin Durant that was the biggest trade, because the only reason the Kevin Durant trade happened was because Kyrie asked out. The Mavs are currently 6-9 in games that Kyrie has played. But here's the part, the little kicker, that people are not talking enough about. The Mavs are 3-8 in games that Luka and Kyrie both play. Anyone see that coming? That is shocking. So, in summation, the Mavs mortgaged their future to get not just Christian Wood, but Kyrie Irving, giving up multiple picks and multiple assets. And now, the only hope is to maybe re-sign Kyrie, which means they gave up their lockdown defender, and they're probably not going to keep Kyrie. They gave up their lockdown defender, Dorian Finney-Smith, their number 2 scoring option in Spencer Dinwiddie, who's averaging 17, 4, and 8 as a net, an unprotected 2029 first-round draft pick, and 2 future second-round picks for potentially 2 months of Kyrie Irving, who has given you a 37.5% winning percentage. Now, it's so bad that Kyrie Irving is getting booed in the stands, getting heckled by Mavericks fans, booted from the game. Things are obviously going according to plan. According to plan. It's not working. Luka in his recent presser is speechless. He's not playing with any joy. He's saying that he has issues with his personal life. All of that is the nightmare scenario. But here's I guess the cherry on top of how bad it is. Do you know how bad it is in Dallas right now? How bad is it, Trysta? It's so toxic that the Orlando Magic think that they can lure Luka Doncic away and bring him there. Yes, recent reports are that the Orlando Magic are, quote, monitoring the Luka situation. And they believe that Luka would look at the Orlando Magic franchise, which has been in the lottery for every year for about a decade, and be like, yes, I think Orlando is in a better spot to win in the short and intermediate term than my current team, the Dallas Mavericks, that just went to the Western Conference Finals. They believe in their head that that's a possibility. They're like, yeah, Europeans don't really care about these dog shit cities that they play in. Look at Dirk Nowitzki. Look at Giannis. Look at Nikola Jokic. They don't care that they're in small markets. They don't leave. They stick around. And you know what? I tend to agree. Things have gone. I actually do believe that Orlando Magic have more pieces, more draft picks, better cap space flexibility than the Dallas Mavericks in the next decade. I believe that the Orlando Magic right now are in a better spot to win than the Mavericks, which is fucking crazy. Things have gone sideways. You got to put blame all over the place. Nico Harrison is terrible. Jason Kidd's not making decisions correctly at the end of situations. Rumors are that the Mavs locker room is tuning out Jason Kidd. All of these are segments all on their own. They're probably going to fire Jason Kidd. He's going to probably be the scapegoat of the NBA and this team, even though he's like the last thing that's the problem for the team. Yeah, he's not good, but let's be honest, there's not much really to rock with. And if you look at next year, you add in how little cap space this team has. So if you look at 2023-2024, without signing Kyrie Irving, this team has $25 million to spend, right? That seems like quite a bit of cap space. Oh, $25 million in free cap space this year. Then you look at how many guys they have locked up, and it's 8 of 15 spots. That means you have $25 million to spend on 7 players. What can you get for $20 million across 7 human beings in the NBA? My guy Alan Crabb was getting $18 million. One man. What are we talking about? And here's the kicker. You owe, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, this year's first round pick to the Knicks unless you fall and get a top 10 pick in the lottery. It's a top 10 protected first round pick. So what does that mean? You got to figure out a way to get that top 10 pick, baby. You got to lose out. So the only way you have an ability to get some young emerging star for cheap in a very loaded draft is that they must lose, shut Luka down, lose 7 games in a row, which puts you record-wise right on the brink. You still might be fucked. 36-46, which is the 9th worst record in the NBA. Which gives you like a little bit of hope of giving a top 10 pick. Otherwise, which would be a disaster as you lose out and then get the 11th pick, which you have to give to the Knicks. But otherwise, who are you? You're the LA Lakers 2 years ago with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and a bunch of guys on vet minimum contracts, except for you don't have Anthony Davis and you don't have Russell Westbrook and you just have a younger LeBron James. Ask LeBron how much that worked for him. Think of that. The Mavericks are the 2021 Lakers with just LeBron James. I'm calling it now. The Mavericks are losing Luka. It's happening. If you look at the situation, it's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when.